Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and welcome back to another episode of the Old Guy Farm Single Player Challenge here on the very specially edited Goldcrest Valley map by Old Guy Farmer, Mr. Jerry Ott. This is episode number 39. Let's go ahead and get right into the action here. No need to change any mods out. We're pretty much set. I think we're pretty much set for the rest of the gameplay. So for the next 20, no, 33 episodes, something like that. We're well over halfway, of course. We passed the halfway mark back 3 or 4 episodes ago at episode number 36. So yeah, so 3 episodes ago. And so we'll get right into the action here. We'll go ahead and do what we normally do here, and that is run around this tree, turn on our flashlight so we can see where we're going, and of course our goal is to get these eggs picked up, just because we've got limited space there for our eggs to be laid there by our chickens, and so we'll get those picked up, and then we need to do the rest of our morning chores. So this morning will also include tending to the greenhouses is what I meant to say. Doughboy first says first like first person comment. Yeah, are you? I see a lot of that on some of the bigger channels, folks posting in about being the first one to comment and stuff like that. Kind of junior high-ish, but I'll forgive you this one time, Doughboy. How are you, Doughboy? And Doug Zorley's in the house. Thanks for stopping by, Doug Zorley. How are both of you gentlemen today? Tonight, because I know for Mr. Doug Zorley, he is already in his Tuesday business day, most likely. Or getting started. Planning to get started with it, I suppose. Anyway, hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful time. We'll go ahead and drop our bucket here. Flat out working, supposedly. I know the drill. And we'll head on over and do the manure with our greenhouses. Try not to run into our trailer. How's Mama Bear feeling? Doughboy says, thanks for asking, Doughboy. She is feeling a little better. I really think that, pretty sure that, hopefully this is going to be sort of the end all for this, but I think that, anytime that you're on antibiotics, I think that before you get 100% better, you kind of feel possibly 100% worse. I think it just kind of has to do with, for example, one time, many years ago, I had the flu in like January or February time frame, and I got to feeling okay afterwards, but I had this cough that I just could not get rid of. No matter what I tried, couldn't get rid of it, and it was especially bad if I got a bit warm. Hot, something like that, especially like in the middle of the night or whatever, I would start this coughing, this hacking, and come to find out I had walking pneumonia, and so the doctor prescribed some antibiotics for me to take, and I had to take them. It was like one of these packs of antibiotics where you take like 2 or 3 or so the first day, and then you sort of wean it off, like 2 the next day, and then so on and so forth. You know what I'm talking about. And so I got to feeling a lot worse before I got to feeling better, and I think that's kind of the situation that she might be in. Is I really think that it's starting to get in there and attack the sinus bugs or whatever that's going on inside her sinuses that's causing these recurring sinus infections that are just making her life miserable over the last year and a half or so. Let's see. Mitchy Mitch 12, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. And I am Vic the Gamer is in the house as well. Thanks for stopping by. Nice to have you all in the stream. One more to fill up, and we can then start doing our water hauling. I will just also briefly check and see what the conditions of our crops are, although I'm not anticipating that anything will be ready to harvest today. By the way, if you were in my stream last night, I do want to apologize because I was looking at the weather situation, and I said, yeah, you know, it looks like I'm going to have the same winter weather situation that I had in the first year. I was looking at the weather forecast the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and I was seeing the little snowflake icon in the upper right hand corner of each of those squares, and of course that's just the icon for winter. But I think because I was so I'm just tired of snow on this map. My first winter and first couple of days of spring was just pretty miserable for us, that I think that I sort of translated that into my eyes, and what got registered into my head was that we were having all these multiple days of snow once again. And of course, if you sort of look at that again, that is not the case. So we basically have snow forecasted the first game day of winter, and then we have 2 game days of sun, and then we have rain on the 4th game day. So my bad, I was talking about it and I was saying, yeah, it looks like we're going to have the same winter. So actually, that's not the case. So yeah, exactly, Farmer Klein. So if you watch my live stream from last night, if any of you go back and watch that, then obviously I'm talking about some things that isn't 100% true, because I'm sort of complaining about the weather forecast, but in reality I'm just sort of misreading the icon there. So my bad. I was a little tired last night, and I woke up fairly early yesterday morning, Sunday morning, and just like I said, was a bit tired, and I've driven a bit too far off into the water. Gaming with Bryson, where do you unload straw in Sandy Bay 17? Couldn't tell you, Bryson, but if you'll just hang on a minute, I'm sure some of the other folks in the stream may know. So just, I certainly don't know, but just give it a few minutes, and maybe if somebody knows about Sandy Bay, where to unload straw, if you could please answer Gaming with Bryson, I would appreciate it. Elijah Howard, welcome to the stream, and Ian Patton, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Yeah, Farmer Klein, I mean, the best thing, or the only thing that I can really think about is I was just so anticipating a pretty major snowy winter, that when I looked up there sort of in the corner of my screen and I saw those snowflakes, I just sort of automatically said to myself, okay, it's going to be another bad winter. But it looks like it's not, at least for what I can see in the first 4 days. I mean, I would expect snow, because after all, I sort of think of this map as being in Colorado or in the Pacific Northwest or something like that. So clearly we would get some snow. Now, of course, getting 5 days worth like we did the first year around, certainly didn't want that. But I will certainly take that weather, because that will still allow us to do a little bit of logging, I think, especially if maybe that first day of winter is somewhat on the light side of snow. I mean, I don't know if the Seasons mod is capable of producing more than 1 layer per game day. I don't know, but I think with just 1 layer, I think we can do okay. Obviously, we may still slip and slide, and we're probably not going to be able to, you know, really get the Ponzi standing up on its back legs and everything like we can do in the summer and the fall. But still, I think it'll be all right. I think it will be just fine. So yeah, Mark DuPont, he's talking about Sandy Bay. That's one good thing about live streaming, and especially with some of my friends that tend to come out and hang out with me, is that they have a wealth of knowledge, not only about Farm Sim 17, but many other simulation-based games. So if you guys do have questions or whatever, feel free to post them in the chat, or even go over to my Discord channel, and there's a couple of text channels that you guys can type in and ask questions, and somebody, I'm sure, will get back to you. Because pretty much all the folks that I know that hang out with me, that I consider my friends, they know who they are. They all enjoy helping other people. Rubber Burner Gaming, welcome to the stream, and Bipolar Prophet, welcome to the stream. Speaking of helping people, Mr. Bipolar Prophet is an excellent resource of knowledge. All right, before we head up into the hills, let's just take a look at, let's take a look at our animal situation. But with it raining, we're not gonna, they're okay on hay and grass for right now. So let's go back to our crops and look at those. Again, we could harvest today if we wanted to, but guess what's falling out of the sky? And that is rain. So we've got a wet crop situation, so might as well not even attempt it, because until the rain stops and the sun comes out, we're just going to have wet crops. So, but it's good to know that as soon as it does decide to stop raining, of course it's supposed to rain today, and it's supposed to rain tomorrow, and then of course we get a bit of a break on Saturday. So yeah, maybe the crops will dry out after the rain, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that icon up there. That hopefully should tell us as soon as the crops dry out, and we might need to get started. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. I don't know about my plan of buying that one field that we had done some missions on, because it looks like if worst case scenario occurs, and that is that we have to do all of our harvesting on Fall Game Day 5, Saturday, then it's probably we're probably not going to be purchasing that field this year, because we probably won't have time to get around to cutting on it. So we'll just do what we have sort of become pretty good at, I suppose, is harvesting wood. So we'll go ahead and fill up these logs here. And then we're going to move the Ponzi as soon as we get this little stick here, if it wants to go. If it doesn't want to go, if it wants to stay behind, then we'll just leave it behind, because we're not going to, we can only do so much to try to get it to load. Let's see, Gaming with Bryson says, what am I supposed to spread it out with? I'm assuming you're talking about the straw. All right. Let me slow these trains down, because that's just going to become a problem for us. Rubber Burner Gaming, he says, I feel like I was just here. You mean just here in my live stream, or just here in this portion of the map cutting trees? Rubber Burner Gaming also says, still no snow in my forecast. Well, aren't you the lucky one, Rubber Burner? Farmer Klein says, just got into winter. I have 2 days of rain, 2 days of sun, and 2 days of snow for my winter. Well, that's nice. Yeah, I'm not going to complain. After last winter, I'm not going to complain about the weather forecast. Just not going to do it. I figure that it will be pretty decent if that and obviously the forecast is true. We can expect that weather forecast. That will be much easier than what we had last year. Doughboy and Rubber Burner Gaming, by the way, guys, I watched your new video today. Cool stuff. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Congrats, and I look forward to watching more of that. Now the edge of the map is over here somewhere, but I think we can get a couple of these trees out of here. And these are all nice and big trees. Cool. Well, I look forward to it. Great job, both of you guys. Now, as far as whether it was the first time that it's ever been done before, I think, now I don't know about on a multiplayer server, role-playing. I know that Bipolar Prophet and Mike, Reefy1952 has done, this might be the edge of the map right here, and that might be why we can't get that tree. Let's see. Yep, that's the edge of the map. Okay, not a problem. While we're up here, we'll go ahead and take this smaller tree here. It may do. Farmer Klein may be right. I know that I believe Colebrook Park Farm also was like that, where you actually had to blow the straw in. You couldn't just feed it bales. Basically, I would try what those guys are suggesting. Try to see if you can feed it a bell, but if you can't, then you may need to basically blow the straw in. Yeah, that's the beauty with those with the mixing wagons, is they can also spread straw. These are some massive trees. I should have been over here earlier in the week. So Mitchy Mitch says Sandy Bay does not have bell triggers for the animals, none for the straw, grass, hay, or silage. So there you go, folks. Farming Simulator 1715 Logger. Hello, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. I don't, Doughboy says, but was theirs a Let's Play in videos or a live stream? I know people have done dual live streams. I don't know. I just know that they had a very, very long running, but it could have just been single player, and they just swapped stories back and forth. I mean, what I saw you guys doing today, that I've never seen that before, so. All right, so we're basically looking for that icon up there to go away, the water with the trees. I'm assuming that's the new icon for wet crop. Okay, so I was wrong. So Bipolar Prophet confirms that basically they were doing single player on the same map, sharing the story. So completely different from what you guys are doing. So yeah, as far as I know, you guys are the only ones. So that is cool. Do it, have fun with it, and I'm sure it will be quite successful because I enjoyed it. Does anyone happen to know the average time that it takes for wet crops to go to dry crops? In game hours, of course. Possibly. So is that 15 hours? 15 game hours? Fluffy Unicorn Time says, yeah, I looked it up. Okay, thanks. So 15 hours. It stopped raining probably in times 1. Farmer Simulator 1715 says it takes a day. Okay. Well, and that would make sense, Farmer Klein. I mean, the whole, the whole seasons mod is supposed to, dial in and factor in those kind of things. So yeah, I mean, at 55 degrees, I would expect that it would take a little while versus if it was, 75 or 80. Well, if you want to know about ramblings of an idiot in roleplay, that's pretty much me, I think. My problem is I can't stay in character. I get off talking about this, that, or the other. Doug Zorley, as Farmer Klein said, depending upon the weather and the current season, wet crops in winter take longer than in summer. Okay. Well, that's only because I pay you to say that, BP. Okay, no problem, Farming Simulator 1715. Take your time. I think I did a better job with it in the early, like in my early time period, like when I was doing the original Goldcrest Valley. I think I did a better job staying in character. But then sort of as I became a little more familiar with Farm Sim 17, and especially with, I mean, my gosh, I've talked so much about cattle and crops, and I wish I had some of those, the energy that I wasted talking about that. Wish I had some of that back. And I tried doing it with Mountain Valley Farm, but I sort of got out of character with that as well. I saw that new timeline. I saw your post, Rubber Burner. Thanks for sharing that. And like you, I'm not going to hold my breath that we're going to see it anytime soon. I mean, we were supposed to, you know, we were supposed to have already had multiplayer based on their original timeline. We were supposed to already have multiplayer for the early adopters, and then, you know, the full release was supposed to be in the fall winter time frame of this year, and you know, I just see that that's just going to slip. I mean, I'm still hopeful that they can make it work, but I have stopped worrying about it. I have sort of stopped you know, I suppose to me, it just, I guess I've reached a point to where it doesn't really matter if it comes out or not. If I, you know, if I've lost my money, I've lost my money. All right, we'll start pulling some of these trees back this other direction. I mean, I can tell you that this being my only gaming software that I've ever supported through crowdfunding, I can tell you that it'll most likely be the last I don't see myself getting involved with another crowdfunding early adopter kind of thing with software with a game like this. Bipolar Prophet says, I feel, he says, all I have to say about CNC, hang on, let me cut this tree. All I have to say about CNC is after winning the PCSG Grand Prize, I can't even play the tech demo and I've received zero communication from them. Yeah. Well, I can't even play the tech demo either because, well, and I'll be honest, I know that the tech demo has been updated a couple of times since I downloaded it, but I really got discouraged with the whole controller issue. I couldn't get my controls set up correctly and wouldn't save, and I've just been too involved with Farm Sim 17 right now and a few other games that I'm really enjoying at the moment to really be worried about it. So speaking of other games that I'm enjoying, starting tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Mountain Time, I will launch a new game on the channel, on the Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and that is Car Mechanic Simulator, why is this not cutting? Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. I'm going to do what I call the grind, which is basically just working through career mode and building up my XP and my money and everything up until a point to where that we can then start doing some of the auctions and some of the barn finds and junkyard finds and stuff like that. And so I'm looking forward to it. Something a little different. You'll see at least one video, maybe 2 videos per week from Car Mechanic Simulator. I want to chat about getting started on Flight Sim. Well, that's going to probably be a lot longer than just a brief conversation, my friend. So Rubber Burner Gaming says controller issues and save games have been resolved. I retested since the first release. They have made some good improvements, still a long ways to go. So when you say controller issues, so basically will it recognize a Logitech G27? Will it recognize a Logitech joystick? I know you have the joystick. I believe you have another Logitech wheel, but will it recognize it? Can you save when you exit the game and come back? Is it still there? All that good kind of stuff. Let's see, Mitchy Mitch says they got in over their heads and are struggling to stay afloat. That is probably an understatement, but very true. So Doughboy Flight Sim, have you ever, I figured that's why I said when you can make some time. I know it's more than I want to text. So what are you sort of looking, which Flight Sim are you sort of looking at getting started with? I will tell you that, and this is probably along the same lines that Bipolar Prophet is thinking when he makes that comment, is Flight Sim can be an addictive thing that costs a lot more money than what you might be used to shelling out with regards to like Flight Sim, Truck Sim, those kind of simulation-based games. Unless you go the X-Plane route. X-Plane has a fairly good modding community that still sort of understands the concept of freeware, but on the FSX Steam or the P3D side of things, it's pretty much about all payware. And while there are some default equipment that comes with, say for example, Lockheed Martin Prepared, it's going to be rather limited, and you're probably going to, sort of outgrow that and have the desire to get into like jetliners and stuff like that, and that's gonna set you back money. And I'm just saying that just simply because, unlike truck sim or farm sim where we can get the base application, you know, and pretty much everything else is relative, is free. You know, all the different mods, different tractors, different maps, etc., etc. With Flight Sim, it's just not that way. It used to be that way. It used to be that way, and that's kind of why I have said, and I've said this on like PCSG and Three Dudes in some of my responses to some of these forum topics that folks are talking about, the way that modders are being treated in the farm sim and in the truck sim communities and stuff like that, is that how that you know, they're either quitting or whatever. And I think at one time, I think that's kind of what happened in the flight sim side of things, is that they got fed up with people stealing their mods and taking ownership for something, and either they stopped or whatever. But I mean, something definitely changed, and it sort of became this money-making, money-grabbing kind of thing. And don't get me wrong, I mean, the quality of the add-ons and everything are quite superior. I mean, you can't beat some of the study level aircraft from like PMDG and A2A and some of those guys, but it's not cheap. There was a discussion that was on the VATSIM Facebook group, and VATSIM is sort of well, there's a couple of different multiplayer networks for Flight Sim. VATSIM is kind of the one that I've been associated with the longest. I go back in the 2000 time frame, even before it was VATSIM, when it used to be part of SATCO. But people were asking the question, sort of posing the question, with as much money as some people spend on add-ons, they could very easily parlay that into their private pilot's license, and of course then it changes from there, of course. And it looks like we have dry crops now, so we are going to leave that wood stack there, because that's okay. We can always haul that wood at a later time. And we're going to tab over to our log truck. We're going to drop the trailer, and we're going to haul tail over to the farm and get started on a little harvesting, because why not? Most likely we won't be able to get everything done, but we can at least get started, and then that way it will relieve some of the stresses on needing to try to do everything. Trying to take a shortcut and it's ending up costing us more time. And of course, that's my stump cutting abilities at its finest. All right, let's call up the equipment store right quick and get a combine out here. Let's see, I think we rented this guy last time, and I think it worked out all right, so we will go with him. And we're going to lease, and then we're going to go with the header for that guy, which I believe is that one. And we're going to lease that guy. We don't need a header trailer. And then we'll have these guys delivered. Deliver, thank you. And then a header. Come on, headers, where are you? There you go. Reset, thank you. We have really awesome relationships with our equipment suppliers. Let me just save. My game is kind of slowing things down here. All right, want this guy here. Farm Guanto Hot 21. No, this is PC. I think it is. I think there's. I think it's. I don't know, BP. I was going to say that I think it is, but I think that tends to be just a thing that that people do or people say. They just want to know if it's a if it is PC or whatever. There we go. That's what I was looking for right here. Thank you, Doughboy. Yes, you guys please do that. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll tell you why you're going to want to hit the subscribe button is I am giving away 3 copies of the upcoming Farm Sim 17 expansion DLC pack that will be coming out in the mid-November time frame. And you'll need to be a subscriber to be eligible to win. And the way that you can win is that basically you watch my episodes of the live stream, this challenge stuff that I'm doing here, And throughout the course of each of the live streams, I provide a code word or a keyword. Sometimes it's multiple words, whatever. But anyway, I provide a set of words or a word that basically you will use to then email me back and confirm that you have actually watched the episode, and then I will enter you in for the drawing. And again, this is for 3 copies of the Farm Sim 17 expansion DLC pack that will be coming out from Giants in mid-November. I will be doing the drawing on the 6th of November. That is a Sunday. And of course, the challenge has to be completed by the 1st of November. And of course, we are well on our way to getting that done, possibly even before mid-September. And let's see, what else can I tell you? But definitely watch and subscribe, and I will tell you what the word of the day is here momentarily. Okay, that was a great demand for soybeans, which I think we've already sold our soybeans. The only thing we have left in storage from last year is canola. So just have to keep an eye for that. Stomp Games 47, he says, hey dude. Well, hey dude back. Hope you're having a good day, sir. I would have to say that probably my wet crop was probably about 5 or 6 hours as well. I think I didn't have my eyes on the clock when it stopped raining, but I think it probably rained until about 10 or 11 game time. So yeah, so probably about 6 hours. Now let's hope this trailer is not too tall. Oh, that's got plenty of clearance. Doughboy, GBS, what trailer is that? I don't remember seeing that one. This is the Randazzo. I stole it from Farmer Klein. He was using it in his challenge series. You can get the link to it on my mod spreadsheet. I'm sure you know how to get to that, grizzlybearsims.com. But yeah, just like BP says, it's Randazzi or Randazzo converted from 15. Looks pretty good. Has some pretty good animation to it. Yeah, I did repaint it. Go ahead. It's on my mod spreadsheet. Let's see, what else could we do while this is doing that? I'm not gonna. We can move some. We can move some wool. I'm still waiting for a great demand before we sell the wool. I really lack skills for this. Well, and you're right, Doughboy. I do need that, and I usually do use those. But considering that I am sort of, well, I just didn't really want to introduce yet another auto-loading something or another to the challenge, even though there's no restrictions preventing me from using the CSZ auto-load set. I do use the auto-load trailer, obviously. I use both the auto-load bell trailer as well as the auto-load log trailer. But yeah, usually I use that CSZ set in addition to the auto-loading trailer, and it makes it sort of a lot easier and enjoyable. That was a very smooth move. I probably couldn't do that again if I tried. Almost did it again, and I wasn't even trying. Hello, Cameron Castles. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. Alright, so we're about 54 minutes into this stream, and we're at least going to finish off this field here, so hopefully we can get that done before midnight. But I suppose if we need to, we can do an all-nighter here as long as it doesn't, as long as the rain doesn't start up. But I will go ahead and tell you what the word of the day is for episode number 39, which is what this episode is. So tomorrow I will be debuting on the Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel a brand new simulation-based video game that is new to my channel. Even though I did play Car Mechanic Simulator 2015, I never put any episodes on my channel. But the 2018 version has been out for a couple of weeks now, and it's actually pretty stable. They've really made pretty good progress on it. And so this new series is basically going to cover, it's not going to be my entire career profile, if you will, but I am going to basically be working up my career profile, and I'm calling it the grind, the G-R-I-N-D, grind. So basically the keyword of the day for this episode is the grind, and I hope that you will enjoy, or I hope that you will check out my channel tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock Mountain Time, or later at your convenience, and enjoy those Car Mechanic Simulator 2018 videos. And like I often say, I'm not a farmer in real life, I'm not a truck driver in real life, I'm also not a car mechanic. I just enjoy simulation-based games, enjoy the heck out of them, and so yeah, Car Mechanic Simulator is another one of those kind of cool games to play and enjoy. And I have a feeling that, there we go. Hopefully we will get a great demand for hopefully we will get a great demand for wool at some point in time. Because I think we have a pretty darn good check waiting for us with all that wool. Good stream tonight, good chat tonight. If anyone that is watching my stream is not a subscriber of the Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, I would appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button. Also, likewise, if you have a question about Farm Sim 17 or really any of the mainstream simulation-based games like ATS, ETS2, etc., feel free to ask your questions in the chat. There's quite a few folks here, especially with a lot more experience on Farm Sim than I have. But we have a wealth of knowledge in the chat tonight with a whole lot of different people. So if you have questions, tonight would be a good night to ask those questions. We've already been helping a few folks out with some questions regarding Sandy Bay and how to handle animals on Sandy Bay. It does, Doughboy. It's almost impossible to this is not too bad work here because there's enough light coming off the harvester and the tractor and everything, but trying to cut and haul timber is a completely different story, and that is quite difficult to do in the pitch dark like this. Cloudy skies might be part of it. Not a whole lot of stars up there, little few up there over there. It's a pretty cool shot. I'm going to tell you what, let's go ahead and go empty this. The animation there, Doughboy, for you. The latches will unlatch, and then when it empties and closes back down, the latches will latch back up again. It's kind of hard to see at night, but maybe you can see that there. Pretty cool tipper. I think my favorite is still the Penta DB50, but that is quite a large tipper for this map anyways, and but I quite enjoy that tipper, and I'm so excited to see it can be customized with different paint colors and stuff, so that's kind of cool. Folks, while I have everyone's attention as well, if you're looking for good quality mods, then make sure that you first look no further than PCSG. We have all of Stevie's mods for Farm Sim 15 and Farm Sim 17. Stevie announced several months ago that he was going to be retiring from modding. Now, I sort of read a Facebook post from him, I think it was yesterday or maybe the day before, and I sort of read that to be in the understanding that he's got some family situations that he's sort of dealing with right now, but that his modding time will be limited, but he did not basically say that it's going to completely go away, so maybe he's had just a little bit of a change of heart. Mark DuPont, are you still in the house, sir? And if you are, and if you can hear me, Bipolar Prophet is having issue on Mountain Valley Farm where he can't walk around. It's not affecting him on any of his other maps that he has currently that he's playing or he's currently that he has installed, but he's unable to walk around on Mountain Valley Farm. Any ideas? I know the version that you played and the version that I played are quite old. Now you might be playing the newer version, I guess the same version that maybe BP is playing. But if you have any food for thought, then certainly chime in. But yeah, PCSG, not only do we have all of Stevie's mods, but we also have a lot of other wonderful mods from other wonderful mod developers. And it's obviously free to join. You will need an account to be able to download any of the mods that we do store on the PCSG servers. The cool thing about the PCSG servers are that they are super fast. We host everything on our own servers, and you don't have to worry about pop-up ads or malware or viruses or any other sort of jumping through hoops and stuff like that to get your downloads. You don't have to wait a specific amount of time. You don't have to subscribe or pay for anything. It's just really easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then another wonderful community that I'll share with all of you is Three Dudes Gaming Network. And the links to both PCSG and the Three Dudes Gaming Network are listed down below underneath my video. And Rubber Burner Gaming says, like Spike. Thank you, Rubber Burner. Farming Simulator 1715 Logger says, I haven't done farming in a while in the game. Farmer Klein says, very odd, I'm playing it with no issue. And Doughboy doesn't have an issue with Mountain Valley Farm either. So maybe, Bipolar Prophet, maybe the easiest thing or the best thing for you to do would be to reinstall it. It's definitely an odd sounding issue. Certainly nothing I have ever run into. Yeah, thank you, Doughboy. We'll drive the combine for a little while. Save on that overtime labor. And there's the link for Three Dudes Gaming Network that Doughboy just posted as well. Thank you, Doughboy. Farming Simulator 1715 Logger says, I hope you're all having a good time, and I also echo those same sentiments. Hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful day, evening, morning, depending on where you are. If you happen to be over on the side of the planet with Duck Zorley, then hope you're having a good Tuesday morning. Otherwise, hope your Monday is still going smooth for you. And off we go, cutting a little canola. We'll go ahead and pull an all-nighter tonight. This will at least, I think, give us a better chance. Unless the rain starts soon after midnight, this will give us a better chance of getting everything done on the Friday afternoon if we get another break with quick drying crops, and then of course on Saturday. What's everyone's favorite crop to harvest? I used to quite enjoy canola in Farm Sim 15. I think it was generally, if memory serves me correctly, it was generally priced a little bit better, even though the yield and everything is not quite as high, but the pricing and everything was always sort of a cash crop. Sugar beets. Now, Rubber Burner Gaming, are you telling the truth? And if you are, then Doughboy, note to self, Doughboy, the biggest field that you have on your new map, County Line, assign the task of harvesting sugar beets to Rubber Burner with the smallest of equipment as well. I like harvesting sugar beets and potatoes with the large grimy equipment, but I still only like it in sort of short duration. There was a map, I can't think of what it was. I think it was in Farm Sim 15. But it had, I think it was States actually, and States was a big map with big fields, but there was two fields that were almost perfect. They were rectangular, and I would plant one with sugar beets and one with potatoes, and it would take, I don't know, maybe with the big harvesters, it would take maybe 30 minutes or so to harvest each of the fields, and that was like perfect for me. That was like, okay, I could do my sugar beets, I could do my potatoes and everything, and at least, you know, I could sort of do all the crops and make those available and everything, but I didn't have to spend hours and hours and hours harvesting it like we would do if it was a large size field that we were harvesting wheat or canola or something like that. Alright, I'm gonna hire a worker right there while I go over here and basically go and empty him. Bipolar Prophet says we did a massive field of potatoes on the aggravation, can't pronounce that other word, map, and our weekly MP took 5 of us in harvesters 8 hours to do 80% of it. Wow. Incredible. Farmer Klein says, I wish there were other mowable crops like alfalfa. There was on 15, there was, what map? Maybe it was Oklahoma. Oklahoma had, I think, alfalfa on it. And that was quite interesting. And I know we talked about this just the other night. I know that Bipolar Prophet was in the stream when I said this, but I would really like to see cotton come into the game and with the right equipment as well, not using a traditional grain or corn header in a regular harvester, but with a, you know, with an actual cotton harvester that produces the big square bales of cotton. I'd really like to see that. Now, Timothy is a word that I have not. Timothy is a word that I have never heard before. What is that? What is that similar to? It must be something that may only grow out in your neck of the woods. I've never heard that. Obviously, I've heard of alfalfa. Yeah, I really wouldn't care if it was a John Deere or not, but obviously that would be cool if it could be if it could be a John Deere cotton picker. That's what I see when I drive through the panhandle of Texas going down to see my parents, and they're usually harvesting the cotton around Thanksgiving still, actually. used to give it to my hamsters. Yeah, I've never heard of it. I'll have to look it up. Rubber burner gaming. If it ain't red, keep it in the shed. That's funny. Oh, I don't. I know. I'm well familiar with your signature line on PCSG. Something about nothing runs like a deer except when it's being chased by a magnum. And hey, somebody's got to have some banter with Doughboy. If it's not me, it might as well be you. There you go. Well, those little Ford tractors, those things are slow as molasses on a cold winter day, but they are cheap and they work. Yep, we're pulling an all-nighter tonight, Game Dweller. With our weather forecast the way that it is, we have rain. We had rain in the game day that we were playing before it turned midnight, and then we basically finally got dry crops after about 6 hours or so, and then we shifted to harvesting. And then we're going to pull an all-nighter because we've got rain in this game day that we're currently in, which obviously will be part of episode 40. And then we've got a dry day on the very last day of fall. So we're pulling an all-nighter tonight so that we can get at least 2 fields harvested. Then that will leave us with just 3 fields after this, to try to do maybe tomorrow afternoon or that Saturday. Do weeds grow in the field? No, not visibly anyways. But I think that was just, maybe that was just Giant's way of trying to add a little bit more complexity to the game, options to do different things. Give you the opportunity of weeding the fields, even though there's no visible signs of weeds. It's still something to do, something different to do. If somebody wants to try to adopt a either completely green type farming or at least partial green farming, then obviously the weeding is an avenue for them to go. That, along with the oilseed radish, which obviously was new for Farm Sim 17. Either that, or it was just maybe it was just something that they couldn't get done. Maybe they had intentions of showing weeds, and they just couldn't get it done. I don't know. Maybe it'll be something that they will further enhance for Farm Sim 19. I'm thinking about it, Farmer Klein. This is canola, yes, Bryson. Well, 18, Farm Sim 18 is just the tablet game. I don't really keep up with what they do for it. As a matter of fact, and this is just, this is just my opinion, but I sort of think that the tablet game, and I'm sure there's different folks that are working on it. It's not the same folks that do the PC version of Farm Sim, but I also often think that they could be further along in all of the features and everything that they would provide in Farm Sim for the PC and the console if they sort of didn't do the OS version, the Apple and the Android version. And now for our wheat. I think sometimes with these simulation-based games, we have to sort of give some flexibility and just exactly what the game developers can actually provide to us, and just kind of go with the flow. I think Giants must have it must be difficult because I guess they're really trying to cater to a couple of different audiences, one of which, like those of us that would like the full immersion, that would like to have um, things like visible weeds and stuff like that, which would kind of help us make sense out of the whole concept of the weeder and everything. And then of course the flip side of that, the other side of that coin, is people that just want to sort of go through the motions. Maybe the more arcade type players. Here comes the fog. I think there are a lot of folks, and I'll even throw my own name in the hat for this, that I would like to see Giants adopt more of the concept of the seasons mod and the soil mod and everything built into the gameplay, and not rely on the modding community to provide those. But of course you would need to have the ability to turn those features on and turn those features off, because obviously some people will not want that level of immersion that the soil mod requires. Sort of like with Giants putting in the 3 times fertilization and the 1 time plowing every 3 years. Oh, there we go, folks. There's our rain. Well, actually, I guess we could just leave this here in the field. We'll go ahead and close her up. We'll get our canola under. And I agree with what Bipolar Prophet said. I also agree that Giants does a good job under the circumstances. You know, I think a lot of us were really hopeful of cattle and crops, and I think that there's still a possibility, hopefully, that they will produce something. And if anything, whether that game actually comes to fruition or not, if it sort of drives Giants into doing something a little bit better for all of us, then, you know, that will be worth it as well. If it sort of forces Giants to add more functionality and more immersion and fix some of the things that have kind of been plaguing the game for years. Yeah, I skipped on that one. I noticed it was on one of them. I got a notice on was on sale, but I'm not even interested in it. If Cattle and Crops comes through and if it becomes something that's going to be cool and fun, then, you know, I'll give it a try again. But obviously, as I have said before, and I even said this back when I thought that Cattle and Crops was actually going to be a thing, and be a thing based on the original timescale. In other words, I said that, you know, I was really just looking to see who between Cattle and Crops and Giants Farm Sim could produce an agricultural based simulation game, because really and truthfully I only need one. I typically only play one flight sim or one flight sim platform. I only play, you know, even though I do play 2 truck sim platforms, one is dedicated in Europe and the other one is dedicated in the US, so that's understandable. But I don't really have a need to want to play multiple agricultural based simulation games. Whatever can work can work. Okay, we get our eggs here, and there we go. We'll make one more pass, and then we are going to call this one an episode. and we will go in, and of course we'll be back for episode 40 tomorrow. Let me go ahead and save the game so I don't stand here, John, and wasting time. And then we'll see what we can do tomorrow. Obviously, we'll have to finish field number 12 once the field dries out. Of course, we can do some logging and stuff like that. And we'll just do the best that we can to stay up with all the tasks that we need to get done. And hopefully we won't lose any crops. And if push come to shove, we can always lease another combine if we think that it's going to come down to the wire. But I think we'll be all right. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate you coming out and hanging out with me. It's very cool for you to do that. And don't forget to watch my episodes and also to listen for the word of the day. I've already given the word of the day out, so you'll have to go back and listen for that if you missed it. But enter the contest because, like I said, I'll be giving away 3 copies of the upcoming Giants Platinum DLC pack in November. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all most likely tomorrow night. Take care. Bye-bye.